What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planners and Wine. My name is Myra.
And my name is Meg. Welcome back, guys.
Yay, welcome back to another week.
Mm-hmm.
Another episode talking wild. We talking wild this week, right?
Absolutely. This is gonna be episode 2 in our wild series. And guys, because our schedules are like so crazy and so turned around, we're literally recording this episode like 4 days after the last one. So if anything crazy happens in the planner world before this episode comes out, we sorry, we'll cover it on the bonus episode. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it just works. We're like, just let's go ahead and do it now, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll get our whole weekend to just chill because all
Yep.
we have is just our bonus episode
Yep.
this Friday, and yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do. Y'all
We
get
do.
it. Y'all know
We
we
do.
previously record.
Yep, absolutely, because we're just so professional. Yeah, so this episode we're gonna be going more into Go Wild. On the last episode, we were joined by our patrons for our monthly live episode, and we talked about all the good and wonderful and amazing things of Go Wild. On this episode, we're gonna kind of get into the nitty gritty, some things that we would do differently, some advice for people who didn't have the best time, our thoughts overall. We're just gonna get right into it. What we won't be doing though is deep diving into the drama that happened at Go Wild. We are just gonna reserve that for our bonus episode. I mentioned that on the last episode that I'm not trying to add on to any, hate or mean things being directed at any particular people. And we just obviously can't control who listens to this podcast, but we can control who listens to the bonus episode. And so, yeah, we're going to get all those details in on the bonus. So if you're interested in that, definitely sign up for the Patreon.
Yes, yes. The link is in the show notes. And shout out to the Patreon peeps. We
Mm-hmm.
love y'all. And I'm excited to kind of no, I'm not. That's a lie. I'm not really excited to talk about that, but
I know. I
but
know.
it's what happened. It was a part
Yep.
of our experience. So we'll just put it behind the paywall.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
that's the best course of action because agreed.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want no hate to nobody in this
Mm-mm.
community. Period.
No, absolutely not. And we really haven't talked about those situations since they went down, and it's some emotional labor that goes
That's why I said I was
into
not.
rehashing that. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I was lying. I am not
Mm-hmm.
excited about it because
Mm-hmm.
it not that it was like I want to say it wasn't directly about us or to
Mm-hmm.
us, but it kind of was.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as Black women in this community, we're affected by something that affects another Black woman in this community.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll go into that on the bonus episode. So if you're interested, hop on over to Patreon, plannersandwine.com, and check it out. But today we're just going to talk about some other things at Wild that we would want to change, do differently. Myra, what comes to mind to you when we think about Wild? And obviously it was a great time. It wasn't perfect. No conference or nothing in life is ever going to be perfect. But
Hmm.
if there was anything that comes to the top of your mind about what you could possibly change or do differently next year, what would you do or what would you change?
Um, for me personally, I think next year I probably would come in a few days earlier and
Mm-hmm.
leave that Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
assuming that it's going to be like a Thursday through Sunday kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or Thursday through Saturday, right? Is technically the conference. Thursday through Saturday.
I mean, I kind of would just say Sunday just because playing Jamma is Saturday night. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah, but I guess the conference is technically over Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would prefer to leave not like immediately right after playing Jamma, but wake up and get ready to
Yeah.
go after playing Jamma. Um, because for me, like we're just so exhausted, and obviously, like this experience is probably not going to be like how any other experience is for
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time Saturday night rolled around, we were just so freaking exhausted and ready to go. So
Yeah.
I think I would prefer to come in a few days earlier
Maybe like
rather
Tuesday.
than yeah, because I
Yeah.
think we came in Wednesday, so maybe I'll do
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday through Sunday instead of
Mm-hmm.
doing Wednesday through Monday. It's
Yeah.
only one day, but I mean, you got to be there. Like it's probably like that's just kind of dumb and silly. But when you there, you get it. You get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you because I feel like our friends, Danny and J Bay, shout out to them. They came in on Wednesday and they did Disney on Wednesday and Thursday, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that was the perfect days to do Disney because you had just got in town, you still had energy. The conference hadn't really started yet
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, especially for us, Go Out was such a great time, but it was draining as well because there was just so
Yeah.
much peopling, way more peopling than we expected. Not that we had an
Mm-hmm.
issue with it, but it was just very, very draining. So yeah, and I mean, I ended up cutting my trip short. I had some flight credits, and I ended up just leaving Sunday instead of Monday because I was exhausted. We had been going off for 2 to 3 hours of sleep every single
Mm-hmm.
night. I had literally started losing my voice on Thursday night, and it hadn't came back by Sunday. At Plan Jam Up, there was an extremely drunk person who just violated my personal space for several hours, and I was convinced I was about to get COVID because of that person. So
You
I
did
was
say
ready to
that several
go.
times,
Once I
and you
sobered
was
up, I was
yeah.
ready to go. I couldn't do it no more. I could not do it anymore. I was just done. Like I said, it was a great time, but it was exhausting. And I'm with you. Like next year, if it's the same kind of day setup, I would love to come in like on Tuesday and leave on Sunday, maybe like early Sunday afternoon or something like that. I think that would be ideal.
Yeah, and I feel like during before the conference, it gives us a lot more time to be with our friends
Mm-hmm.
too,
Yeah.
without like all the people. And I agree with Meg. Like I don't, I didn't mind. Y'all know if y'all came up to us, we didn't care. You ain't like the pick,
Mm-hmm.
we taking it over. We
Mm-hmm.
ain't that kind of people like stuck up or anything. But we are introverts,
Yes.
and it is draining
Mm-hmm.
to do all that people in. But we still want to be with our friends too,
Mm-hmm.
and our friends had to deal with all that people in too.
They
You
did.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so I think I would prefer to have a little bit more like quieter time with my friends, and then turn up and leave.
Yeah, I totally
So
agree. Because Wednesday was amazing and literally perfect.
could that happen every day? Because it was literally perfect.
It was so perfect.
It was so perfect. It was so chill,
Mm-hmm.
so relaxed. Even though we did run into a few people, like people were there, like
Mm-hmm.
trickling in at that point, but it definitely was not to the magnitude of Thursday and Friday.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think for next year, I think having those extra days on the front end too will give us more time to kind of relax and recharge because as an introvert, obviously we recharge through a long time. And there was just really no such thing as a long time throughout that whole several days. And obviously we love being around, people and people who enjoy the show and our friends and all that type of thing. But at some moments I was just like, I just need to be by myself. I just need to be, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you just need to be by yourself for a couple minutes or for a couple hours or whatever. So I definitely think that next year I want to do a better job at planning ahead of time so that we can have those moments where we carve out alone time at some point where I'm able to go off with our friends and do something if Myra wants to be alone in the room for a couple hours or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I just think that that
Mm-hmm.
would help us not get so drained throughout the week too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And there's more opportunities for us to do that
Mhm.
without, the bells and whistles of the conference going on
Mhm.
at the same time. But yeah, yeah. Did you have one that you would have done differently?
Let's see. Well, I know one thing that we want to do next year. We want to get like one big room suite. I know I'm talking about a long time and stuff, and now I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get a party room with our
Yeah,
friends. Yeah.
but that has to happen too.
It has to happen too. Yeah, so we'd already talked about next year we're gonna get maybe like a big Airbnb or like a big suite at the hotel if we're able to where us and our friends can just be together more because obviously we were together a lot and we always ended up in one person's room or another person's room. But
Hmm.
it would have been nice if we would all been in like the same like big room with like a living room space, and that way people can hang out in the living room, or if other people want to go to sleep they can go to sleep while other people still want to hang out. We just kind of have more
Yeah,
flexibility to hang out. I think that would be amazing.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we need a suite. We need a suite. Just
Period.
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 But
Yep.
yeah, yeah, I definitely agree Would love to do that. Although we were literally like 4 doors down from our
It wasn't that deep,
restaurant.
right?
It
We were
wasn't that deep,
very close.
but
I
we were
think the thing is,
inconvenienced to
right,
walk
and
down the
we
hallway.
needed like a living room space. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what
Hmm.
was missing because it's just like you want to feel like you're a part of it, like you don't want to miss something. But there were moments where like I was tired, you were tired, J Bay was tired, Danny literally fell asleep in the middle of a conversation at one
Yes,
point.
he did.
You know, it would have been nice to have like a living room space where the people who want to stay up and talk can do that, and the people who want to get their ass in bed can do that
You
without
can do
feeling
that.
like they're
Yeah.
missing out or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
for
think that's the
sure.
main thing. Then we can have one place where we can have, food and drinks and all that type of stuff together. So, yeah, another thing I want to do differently, which I'm is really mostly dependent on the location, but come hell or high water, I'm gonna make this happen. I don't want any more connecting flights. I want to get on one plane, go straight to my destination, get off that plane, and be in my destination. Like, gosh, the flights I like literally, I think on my way there, it was like 7 hours worth of flights. And on my way back, it was
Mhm.
like 6 hours worth of flights, including layover time. And god damn, it was exhausting. It was exhausting.
Exhausting. Yeah. Yeah. I've come to terms that I'm probably never going to see a connecting flight again. Just based off of where I live, unless
Mm-hmm.
it's like Chicago, hint, hint,
Mm-hmm.
nudge, nudge. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying. Because
Right,
that's
hopefully.
literally one of the two places. Like, if it's not Chicago or New York out of Cincinnati, it's a connecting flight.
Mm,
So I've
yeah.
just kind of accepted it's probably going to be that. But I agree. I would love to just get on my hour flight and be there.
Girl, seriously. Seriously. I can't. It's too much. It's too much flying. And I'm already not a big fan of flying anyway. So getting on the plane, getting somewhere that's not my destination, walking to another gate, waiting, getting in line again, getting on another plane, choosing another seat, that was too much. And I did that there and back. And I was over it by the time
Yeah.
I got home. Just completely over it.
Yeah, I will say, maybe just by coincidence that my connecting flights, like the gates were literally like one or two
Yeah,
next to
me
where I got off.
yeah,
So
same.
yeah,
I got lucky with that too.
it's still annoying to
It
get on
is.
and off.
It is. I think one time it might have been when we were in training at Liberty Mutual. I think I had a connecting flight through the Chicago airport. Girl, I swear I had to walk 2 miles from gate to gate. It was insane. It was insane.
We should have known that wasn't the job for us. I had to do a red eye or
You
red line,
did.
whatever it's called,
You
and
did.
literally had to sleep in the freaking airport for a job. Like, no.
Girl, for a job. For a job. We did the
I
most.
know my worth now. I know my worth.
Period. Absolutely not. Never again. Never again.
Mm-mm.
I think something else I want us to do different next year. I think I want to do a better job at like planning out meals because I feel like or maybe like having more like fruit and other things that we can eat in the morning because between the morning session starting at 8 a.m. We was waking up at like 6:37, so not super early at
Mm-hmm.
all. And then going all the way until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we were not really able to eat during that time. So by the time we were out of the morning session, we were really averaging like 1.5 meals per day, which is
Yeah,
not
for
how I
sure.
want to live my life.
No,
It's just
we
not
yeah, we
comfortable.
love to eat.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think having a like a suite or Airbnb or
Mm-hmm.
whatever kind of situation. Personally, I think suite because I would like to be in the same
Yeah,
place where the conference is.
for sure.
But having that will open us up to actually having like a refrigerator and maybe even a freaking microwave because we
Mm-hmm.
were very limited to what we could eat for quote unquote breakfast. It was literally like we can't make like oatmeal. We don't have a
No,
microwave in
it was a mini
so
fridge with very small space and no
mhm.
microwave in the room. I think I heard somebody, it maybe in the Facebook group, they contacted the front desk and they were able to like rent a microwave or borrow a microwave. We
Mm.
didn't even know about all that.
Yeah, no. Now
So
we renting microwaves. They could throw those in the room. They know they
I
wrong
know,
for
just
that.
put them in the room, right? Just put them in the room. But yeah, so having like a dedicated like kitchen area in the room would definitely be great because then we can have like real food in
Hmm.
the room to where if we need to. just run upstairs real quick and get something to eat, we can do that. We're not having to buy food every second of the day, which is basically what we had to do. It was great that the hotel had a bar that was open all day, that had a restaurant also that was open
Yeah.
all day. That was very, very convenient. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and their food was good too.
Yeah, it was good. It
Yeah.
was
So yeah,
good.
that was definitely very convenient. I guess I'm gonna just go through my list that I posted on Instagram because I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
But I definitely would have packed a lot lighter.
Girl, I came home with so much stuff that was still rolled because Dallas rolled all my
Mhm.
rolled all my stuff because he's perfect at packing. And it was just stuff I hadn't worn. Yeah, I don't
Same.
know how I was so off. I literally had double the amount of clothes that I actually needed.
I had like at least 2 weeks worth of underwear.
Yeah,
Why? I don't know.
yeah, all the
I
draws,
Yeah, all of them. Shoes, and I think
shoes,
it would
gosh.
it would probably be easier because usually Wild is like April-ish, but
Mhm.
we had to pick the day that we could pick.
Mhm.
So I think shoes won't be an issue next time because I did have like I had boots and like gym shoes. Like if
Mhm.
it's closer to a warmer month, then maybe I can do more sandals and it won't
Yeah,
take up
sandals
as
don't
much
take up
room.
as much. It may be like one
Yeah.
pair of like tennis shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a part of the issue. And then like I just had, like you said, so many rolled up outfits that it was no need for these to be here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna change at Disney and have a whole totally different outfit. Girl,
Girl.
ain't nobody had time for that. What was I
Gonna
thinking?
change every single day. I literally came with at least two outfits per day. And for the
Mm-hmm.
majority of those days, that just did not happen. Like I think I changed the first day. Um Thursday, I think we had on the same thing all day. Maybe changed the shirt or something like that. For the most part, we kept on the same clothes all day, which I was not expecting for some reason. But I don't know. I guess I thought it was gonna be warmer, so I anticipated getting sweatier and having the
Mm-hmm.
need to shower and change, but it just didn't happen like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
the amount of
Wednesday's the
clothes.
only day that Wednesday and technically Saturday, but that because it was playing gym and I wasn't walking
Panama.
around in
Mm-hmm.
pajamas all day,
Right.
but and then Wednesday, like of course once you get off the plane, you want to change. And we
Absolutely.
were going to a restaurant too, so it just made sense. But
Right.
we didn't need two outfits for every single day. So
Mm-mm.
that's our tip to you. One
Mm-hmm.
outfit, keep it simple. You don't have to be, I mean, unless that's who you are.
Right.
But
That's one
keep
thing
it
we
simple,
did do
jeans and
right.
t-shirts.
We
We
kept it
did keep
very
it simple.
simple with our
Mm-hmm.
wardrobe. Yeah, it was definitely just jeans and t-shirts, wild t-shirts, planners and
Mm-hmm.
wine t-shirts, random t-shirts. Yeah, it was t-shirts galore.
Yeah, and maybe
So
one if you're planning on going out with your friends,
like
maybe one
one
like
look cute
little,
going out outfit.
yeah,
Yeah.
maxi dress, something, just
Yep.
simple.
Yep. I totally agree. What else you got?
I wish I would have actually budget, which is funny. I did budget, but
Yeah.
I had like where okay, like my spending money was 750,
Mm-hmm.
but I wish I would have had like okay,
This much for food.
150, yeah,
Yeah.
for food, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I was just like
Yeah.
I would like to have known where the money was going because I mean, I guess I could go back through my account. Luckily, this is like my fun money account, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not like tied to what Chuck was
Bills and
doing that
stuff.
weekend. Yeah.
Right.
So I could do that, but I'm lazy. I'm not going to do that. But I would like to have known what was going where and what I had left over from which category so I can
Mm-hmm.
better budget for the next year.
Yeah, same, same. Because, like you said, I had a block of money that I had allocated for this, and it was not broken down into
Mm-hmm.
individual sections or anything like that. But because I didn't go to Disney on the last day and I went home, I did have a couple extra $100 left over, so I did get my Notique back. So very excited about that. I literally bought it on the plane. I was like, "This is my consolation prize for leaving and not going to Disney. I need this bag."
I mean, the good thing with I didn't really spend too much at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
My quote unquote most expensive thing was my lightsaber, which was like
Oh,
$40. I
right.
didn't even think it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be more than that, but $40
Yeah,
wasn't
me
bad.
too. It's not bad at all.
It was the shipping it home
Mm-hmm.
part, which another thing that I wish I would have budget for. unexpected
See,
expenses.
and now you know, yes, because that is definitely. And
Mhm.
then I feel like because we have put so much stock in, oh, we need to make sure we have extra luggage space and all that type of stuff.
Mhm.
If it comes down to it and I have that much stuff next time, I will ship it home if it happens like that. Like I'm not gonna try to I'm sure I'm next time I'm gonna try to pack way lighter, and I would love to just have one suitcase and one carry-on bag. That is the easiest amount of stuff to travel with. I hated lugging two bags into the airport with my
It's
backpack and
ghetto.
lugging two out. It was a
Mhm.
lot. It was an absolute lot. So yeah, next year if I have a lot of stuff, I'm gonna take it to the low and in that hotel they actually had a FedEx right in the lobby. And I feel like with just like planners and papers and pens and stuff, that probably was not that expensive to just ship it home. You probably could do that for 20-30 bucks, something super easy like that anyway. So
Yeah, somebody let us know if y'all did ship
mm-hmm.
like a decent amount of like actual swag. Let us know
Let
how
us
much it
know.
was, because obviously shipping a lifesaver is expensive. But I think
Mm-hmm.
because of the sides of the
That's what
box,
it was because it was
yeah,
an awkward size and
yeah.
yeah, because they had to use a humongous box,
Hmm.
which is
The
crazy.
box is huge. It is
They should have
huge.
gave you a box of Disney. I can't. I can't.
Missed opportunity for Disney for
For
sure.
real. For real.
Yeah.
And you know what? Next year, they probably I would be very surprised if they had it in another location that was a hop, skip, and a jump away from a theme park. Because that
Mm-hmm.
really, really limits on the places that they can do it. I mean, really, the only other place I can think of, unless they were trying to go to like Six Flags or something, if they're trying to do Disney again, is Orlando, which I just can't see them doing that 2 years in a row. So yeah, that might not even be much
Yeah, I
of an
don't see
issue, but
that.
it's still cool to
Hmm.
like plan for the potential like gifts you might buy and souvenirs you might buy. Like have a budget for
Hmm.
that and have a plan for how you're gonna get that stuff home because that's not even swag. That's just extra stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, regardless of where it is, Ashton's gonna ask for something. He was mad
Mm-hmm.
I ain't bring him back a t-shirt.
Mm. And you
He
know
said,
what
"Where
I
my
did?
Mickey shirt?" I just went to Target and bought a Mickey shirt like here.
Oh my God. See, there you go. Mom's always gonna figure it out. Mason must have forgotten that I was supposed to be going to Disney because she didn't ask anything about it. And when I was at the Austin airport for my layover, I ended up getting her some things from that gift shop. I was like, here you go, girl. And she was totally happy with it. She had forgot all about Disney, so because it definitely was no
Yeah,
Disney shit.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Lucky enough that they are young enough to not. I mean, they care, but it's like
it's not that big of a deal.
it's whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. What else? Did you have anything else?
Um, I mean, I personally didn't do this, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it's important to say on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come to Wild solely for swag.
Woo! For the people in the back. For the people in the back.
I
It's
think,
crazy to me that there were still. I haven't really seen it, but I've just heard from other people that there were complaints about not as much swag as previous years. I
mhm,
feel like we got plenty of stuff, more stuff than I
a
needed. Like I'm
whole
literally
ass
contemplating
carry on
giving
full of
away.
stuff.
Yeah, seriously, a lot. So
I
I
think
don't.
people thought they was gonna be throwing out crickets
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
silhouette machines. I just
yeah.
it's mind blowing. I feel like there are some people out here that's like, I'm gonna spend my $500 on the ticket and I'm gonna get $500 back in swag, and it's like
That
that
makes
doesn't
no
even make
sense.
logical sense,
That
girl.
makes no sense. Because first
That
of
makes
all,
no sense.
$500 worth of planner stuff is a lot. It really is.
Mhm.
It really, because the majority of planner stuff is not expensive.
For
So
sure.
$500 worth of that stuff is just yeah. So I love that that has kind of been a theme that we have been replaying over the past couple of weeks, and that a lot of people have been saying as well. Like it's really not about the swag. Like I could have left with nothing but what I came with, and I still would have had just as good a time. Because now I'm literally sitting here like, what am I about to do with all this stuff? You know?
Exactly. Exactly. I still haven't gone through it, but I plan on doing it this weekend. But I don't know. I don't know what people I think a lot of people don't understand what it takes to put into a conference or any event really, because I'm like,
Yeah.
even if you have a barbecue with your family, it's money involved in that, like with the food and reserve in the park, stuff like that. I
There's
think
money that goes into everything in life, literally. Like
I
literally.
really do. And then even with like people who may have my son's having a meltdown because he's about to take a bath, but
No.
I think even people are like are frustrated with like refunds, which I get. $500, that's a decent amount of money. I
It's
totally
not
get it,
nothing for sure.
but I think people think like the event is just holding on to their money until the day of the event, but y'all have to remember, like, you have to pay for the venue, you have to pay for the speakers, you have to pay for the vendors. Like, it's so much more that goes into it. Then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking, but hopefully this is giving folks a little bit of clarity that
Yeah.
it's not just your money being sit in a pot until the day of the conference. Because if that was the case, you could pay at the door.
Right. And we definitely can't do that.
You definitely cannot pay at the door. It's
Yeah.
other things behind the scenes that need to get paid. People need to get paid, and you're not paying just solely for swag.
Right. Right. I think it's the overconsumption that we have always talked about for years that goes on in the planner community that kind of
For
adds
sure.
to the swag frenzy. And obviously nobody is innocent in that, because obviously like in years past, I think that Go Wild has really set the bar super, super high for not only the quality of swag, but the amount of swag. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely not calling everybody who is a little bit disappointed by the swag greedy or anything like that. I just feel like we kind of need to put it into a better perspective and look at the fact that there's been a global pandemic for the past
Mm-hmm.
couple years. Some shops are not even open anymore, and the shops that were able to be there this year had to make a lot of major sacrifices to
Mm-hmm.
be there, and they're not getting paid by Go Wild to provide swag to y'all, to us. That is coming out of
Yeah.
their pocket, out of their bottom line. And so the fact that they were able to produce the amount of things that they did produce is insane and it's awesome. And we need to really like take our hats off to them and just be, appreciative of it. I am, I feel like everybody would ultimately have a better time if they could just come with an open mind and a grateful
Mm-hmm.
heart and just be like, whatever I get, I'm gonna be happy with, and I'm not gonna worry about that. Like, I didn't pay $500 for swag, and I feel like it has been said that if you are paying $500 for swag, you need to keep your $500 and just buy the shit because it's available on most of these shop sites. Like, for real,
Yeah,
you
go
don't
to
have to go to
Michael's,
Go
whatever
Wild
you need to.
for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing too. Like, you're still, if your whole purpose is to come for swag, not everything is going to be your taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
you're
that's
gonna
another thing to
get
consider
disappointed.
too. Yeah, just
Yeah.
take your money and buy what you like and stay at home. I don't know. I think for me, I totally agree with you. Like, I'm not, for people who are disappointed, not saying that like you're,
Your
mean or
feelings are
rude or
valid.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you feel that
But
way.
I think you need to look at it at a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
We had a global pandemic. Nobody seen that coming. A lot of shops that were supposed to sponsor don't even exist anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
then, most importantly to me, because I love small businesses, a lot of the people that put into the swag are small shops. This ain't Jeff Bezos
Right.
putting into these flags. You know what I mean? Like, these
Right.
are very small shops that we know and love. And then to be, I don't know, like, kind of like turning your nose up because you didn't
Yeah.
get enough is just like, I don't know. I'm very protective of my small shops, so I'm like,
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
ew, rude. Like, don't be like turning your nose up because they bust their ass to do all that.
Right, exactly. And you're just doing a disservice to yourself if you're focusing on that too, because there's just so many amazing things about Go Wild, and just the experience. There's nothing on this planet like it at all.
Mhm.
And if you're focused on that, you're really focused on the wrong thing and you're gonna be disappointed no matter what. Because I mean, Julie even told us in the past people have complained about too much swag. So what's the perfect amount of swag? There is none. There
There's
is
none
none.
because
So just don't
everybody's
worry
different.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do not worry about it. One thing I wanted to talk about as well is I am really disappointed with some of our fellow content creators, white content creators in particular, not all, of course, not only a few that I've seen who went to Go Wild and who created content from being at Go Wild, and their perspective and their view of Go Wild is so different than what it actually was and is. And it was just very disheartening to see. Like, I even had to unfollow a creator because if you were looking at her reels and her photos from Go Wild, you would have thought that Go Wild had no black women, no people of color, nobody that's any different from your, from just basically just white women. You would have thought that it was basically a white women conference with white women in attendance and white women on the stage, because that's literally what her perspective was, and that's what her coverage is like. And that's super disappointing because I feel like there was just so much great gratitude over how much black and brown representation there was at Go Wild this year, and how there was so many more black and brown people at Go Wild this year. And if somebody is only following her and only seeing that coverage, and they're a person of color, they're gonna think that Go Wild is not for them. They're gonna think that there's no place for them to Go Wild. They're gonna think that there's no people who look like them and relate to them and Go Wild. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. So I mean, some, and like I said, it was not a lot. I only saw a handful, but like, you some of us those white content creators in this community, y'all really need to check yourselves, because how is there not one person of color in any of your footage? And I'm not even just saying like, oh, you had to have a piece of footage of us. It could have been any of the amazing black people who were on
Yeah, we weren't the
stage.
only ones.
We were not the only ones, but it was none of us, and none of us who were in attendance was in any of that footage. And that was just so disappointing to see, especially in a community that already has issues with representation and diversity, and making people of color and black people feel like they're a part of it and like we're not on the outside looking in. That is the last shit anybody needs to see. Seriously. How do you do that?
I said, "Woo, that'll do it." I said, "This account is not for me. You ain't got to worry about me."
You ain't got to worry about me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you sent me that or I sent it to you or we just synced it at the same. I don't
We
know
was
what
on the
happened
same
with that.
page immediately. Like, we
Yeah,
didn't even have to. It was like an
what
immediately
is
no.
this?
Like, what
It's
conference
insane.
did you
And
go to?
everybody in that reel looked like her.
Literally.
Like it was no, I mean, not even like race, no size differential, no men. There was a ton of
It was
men there.
it is a oh
But
girl.
it
It
just
was insane.
yeah, it was really insane. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's their perspective, and that's why I'm like, you ain't got to worry about me because you
Mm-mm.
don't create content for me because you
No,
see your eyes through you.
no.
So it's just that was mind blowing because it was so diverse. Just the
Mm-hmm.
people in attendance was so diverse, different shapes, shades, sizes. The people on stage very diverse,
Yeah.
and for it to be just like I don't know
Whitewashed.
this
Literally, it was
whitewashed
just
unicorn
whitewashed.
land.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because looking at our footage and that friend's footage versus that person's footage and some other people's footage, you would have thought it wasn't even the same conference.
for sure.
I mean,
Also, I didn't see
could we
that
have
person
showed?
there too, so maybe
I know
we weren't at the
exactly.
same conference.
I need some receipts, girl. Because where were you?
I didn't see
Exactly.
you at all.
And you know what? Do we have enough footage to where we could just show Go Wild from only our perspective, and only black people on stage, only black people in the crowd, only black people everywhere? Probably, if we wanted to edit it like that, but that takes some effort. So I don't know why she would put her effort and her energy in particular, because this was the most egregious one that I saw. That's why I keep talking about that one in particular, into making it seem like there were it's like, and it would, I feel like, I don't even know if it was, I don't even think it was on purpose. It just didn't even cross her mind to have any type of representation in her footage and in her reels that she ultimately produced. And it was just really gross
And
and
that's what
disappointing.
privilege is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Yep.
To be able to go through your life and only see you and only have to worry about
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yep.
That was literally the definition of white privilege in the real.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Ooh.
But
I
yeah,
can't. So yeah,
with
like
that,
if you're a white creator out there and you're listening to this, be mindful of what you show of this planner community and how you show it, and making sure that you show representation and diversity. And that is just a super easy way to not just talk the talk, but to walk the walk, and to show the community how it really, really is. Because it is diverse and it is beautiful, and there are different shapes and sizes and colors and genders and all that. Why not show it?
yeah,
Because that's the most beautiful part about this community. And so it's super disappointing to see somebody, whether purposely or not, just not show that. It was just, oh girl, like you said, she ain't got to worry about me.
she ain't gotta worry about me. I don't think it was
Mm-mm.
purposely. I don't think it was purposely, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm That's the problem.
Yep.
And diversify your friends.
Girl, that part.
My friend group look nice. I'm just saying.
Period.
I have all different kinds of shades of friends.
Period. Yep.
I
Yep.
but yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
My
I
friend
don't think
group
it was
looks
on
like the
purpose, but
world looks to
that's the
me,
point.
which is all type of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess her friend group looks like the world looks to her, which is white people. So anyway.
Yeah. Anywho, I
Anyway.
also last little thing before we move on. I don't know if it's because y'all was in the house for 2 years, but the way y'all acted up Friday night,
Oh, at the
I am highly disappointed.
wait, at the
At
wild
the
crop?
crop,
Oh.
yes, I was disgusted in this community in that moment. One again because I love my small shops.
Mhm.
One of my favorite small shops was there,
Mhm.
and she's like that was a very hard night for her.
Mhm.
So I was discussing in that because literally an earth angel should not have to go through any of that. People
Period.
were taking stuff. Like I don't know because y'all was just stuck in the house or what, but that should not have happened. Like y'all
It's
need
the
to govern yourselves
greed.
accordingly.
It's the greed and the I need stuff. And
We have so much stuff
we got
at
so much.
home.
And the fact that the wild crop was on Friday night. So it was the same day of the sponsored tables. So you had a lot of stuff from your sponsor. It's not
You
like you
had
hadn't
stuff
even got there
already.
yet. You
Yeah.
had stuff already. Girl, yeah. And you know what?
Do
I
better.
apparently, the wild crop is new because there were people who were complaining about not doing any actual planning at Go Wild, which I have no idea why you would want to do that, but that's on them. That's none of my business. Um, yeah. So it was the first year of it, from my understanding, and obviously there is definitely some room for improvement. And it sucks because I know they probably put into a lot of effort into it. The small shops who participated put into a lot of effort, and maybe next year they can just have an open ballroom with tables and chairs, and you and your friends can go down there and plan in an open space with maybe some music and drinks and food or something, and y'all bring your own planner stuff if you can't act right and not steal stuff from the tables. Maybe that's a good idea.
I don't even think y'all deserve that because y'all was wilding.
Girl, that's crazy.
That was ridiculous. And it was embarrassing and it
That's
was just
embarrassing.
yeah. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
not y'all got so much stuff at home. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all going buck wild over free stuff that wasn't even y'all's to take.
It wasn't even, that was not you're supposed to. So my understanding is, because I didn't go downstairs for that. Me and Jay Bay just stayed up in the room hanging out
Yeah.
while Danny and Myra took one for the team and went down and
It
explored.
was all after the aftermath. It was like going into a war room, low key. Like you
Wow.
could see like the defeated face in the shop owners and the people that were doing the
Because
crops.
they were supposed to
It
just
was
use the stuff on the tables, not take it. You were supposed to
mhm,
use it to plan and play in your planner and leave, not take the stuff with you. That's not what
mhm.
it was supposed to be about. Yeah.
Whew.
Wow. Wow. So yeah, and I feel like for next year, and definitely some feedback that we want to pass on. I think it would be nice to have some other options for events during the wild crop for people like me who don't want to come to Go out to plan. and who want something else to do, that where we can still like have a big space to hang out with, planner people, maybe we can do something else in a different room. I think that would be cool. I think maybe some type of mixer like during registration for people who come by themselves so they can find other people who came
Oh
by
yeah.
themselves,
Hmm.
like a little welcome mixer for them. I think that would be really, really nice because there are a lot of people who came alone, and maybe eventually they found other people to talk to, but it was just hard because you never know who was actually also alone. So maybe they had like a
Right.
dedicated
Yeah.
time and space for people who for real came along to kind of get together and link up and find friends and stuff. I think that would be really cool for next year too.
Yeah, I definitely love that idea. And
Mm-hmm.
also, if you don't come along and you just happen to be around somebody who may have, adopt them.
Yeah,
We kept adopting people throughout
we did.
that whole thing,
We did.
and they were
We
cool as
we
fuck.
met some amazing people. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, just adopt people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it'll be dope to have like a singles mixer or something.
Yes. Also, yes, I would love that. Also, that would be amazing. So we'll see. I'd like to say I think there are it was great overall and I absolutely enjoyed it. I cannot wait to go back, but there are definitely some places where, some things can be improved and maybe tightened up a little bit better. I know some people thought it was a little bit unorganized at times. But just give the Wild team credit for doing everything they did, because I feel like after not doing a Go Wild for literally 2 years, it felt like they were probably doing it all over again for the first time, except with a crowd 5 times as big as the actual first time.
For sure.
How
And then you have this
insane.
whole COVID thing trying to keep everybody safe as
Yep.
possible too. So
Yep.
yeah, definitely give them some grace. They did an amazing job with this conference. Like, I mean, it was amazing overall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I know like the lines and stuff kind of got a little crazy, but I mean that's situational because
Yep.
it's in a different place every year. So it's not like, I mean, you could give that feedback, but it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's going to be a different place next year, so it probably won't even matter.
Right.
But yeah, I think they did an amazing job.
Me too.
Things definitely could be improved. Hopefully next year people will be around people and don't act up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
It's always gonna be some people acting up. There's no way to
that's
avoid
true.
that. I hope
1,500
for
people
next
is bound
year
to happen.
it yeah, I just hope for next year it doesn't like overshadow the event. Because the majority of people weren't acting up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The majority of people
For
were not
sure.
acting
Yeah.
up, but there are always gonna be those people who are just gonna be greedy, gonna be rude, gonna be selfish, and gonna take advantage of situations. And it's just kind of inevitable,
Yeah.
or whatever. So yeah, but yeah, um, this is kind of the end of the Go Wild series, except for the bonus episode. The only thing left is the bonus episode, and the fact that we're able to make 3 episodes about everything Go Wild
We
just
had the
speaks
time of our
to the
lives.
magnitude. Yeah.
Yeah. We had the time of our lives, and I just hope that everybody had a similar, if not like just a fraction of the experience I had,
Same.
because I would not change it for the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
This year set the bar very, very high. Like I see
yeah.
rooms for improvement, but I feel like for us, because this was our first Go Wild, this is our first time with some of the amazing friends that we made in this community, and our first time doing any type of on stage podcast.
Mhm.
This year is gonna be very, very hard to top. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try to top it next year. Wish us luck.
That's all we could do. That's
Yep.
all we do is keep trying.
Yep.
But yeah, oh my God, what such an amazing experience. If you have the opportunity to go
Mm-hmm.
wild, do it.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Yep.
words of Jen, stop debating and start saving.
Yep. Start saving.
Period.
Period. Exactly. But yeah, guys, we're gonna take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, and we will be right back with the rest of the show. All right, guys. So we are back. And just so you guys know, if you are a small business, large business, content creator, just anybody looking to get your name more out there, send us an email over to plannersandwine@gmail.com. And we would love to talk to you about possibly advertising, sponsoring an episode. We have lots of different options. Just hit us up and we can give you more info about that.
Yay. We can't wait to work with y'all.
Mhm. Yes.
All
And
right, to the
also,
mess.
oh, I was going
Oh,
to do our
do we have more?
Send us an email to our question segment if you have a question about anything. Speaking of that, I actually need to log back into the inbox because we could have some questions just sitting and I ain't seeing them. I'm sorry. It's been a rough couple weeks.
Y'all know we gonna start that back up in April.
Yes.
It's just been hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So send us your questions to askpandw@gmail.com. We would love to answer your questions about almost anything. Almost anything.
We'll let you know
We will
if
let you
we
know.
decided to slide on it. But yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we love
If you're
it. So send it
if
to
you're
us.
asking us when are we gonna have the live recording of Go Wild, don't because we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. I
We don't.
like I told Meg, we probably should put it in our bio. We don't know.
We don't know. We still don't
When
know.
we know, y'all gonna
You
know.
will
We
know.
promise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can't wait to get that to y'all as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the mess. So, in last week's episode, we did talk about some controversy with a VB pen that had been released. After we released that episode, VB did make the decision to pull that pen from being for sale on their website anymore. So we did add that to the show notes just to, because we're journalists over here. We got to give y'all the correct information. So we did add that to our show notes. So yeah, they did end up ultimately deciding to pull that pen and not release it anymore, even though people who have already purchased it would still get it if they had purchased it before it had been pulled. But it's not available to purchase anymore. And that has caused some controversy as well, which I really was not expecting.
It should have been the end of it,
I
but
should have.
the Karen's gonna Karen,
Yeah.
but
Some people are very upset about it getting pulled. We saw some comments. It's like in some VB Facebook group, not the official one, but in some unofficial group, there is some talk of they're upset at VB for bowing to woke cancel culture. Saying that Coco Chanel didn't even do anything wrong. Even the person who actually designed the pen, because we had kind of speculated on why they won't just change the name. Apparently, the person who designed the pen and came up with the concept, because it was like a little contest that she had, the person who won that and submitted the Coco Chanel pen didn't want to do that, which shocked the hell out of me. I don't know why I keep letting white people surprise me, but here we are.
It's low-key mind-blowing because like in one hand this person literally says, because she shared her DMs, which was like, I don't know if she was like thinking she was being vindicated, but it made you look like more of an a-hole.
It did.
But she was saying that I don't agree with Nazi, but Chanel didn't do anything and da 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 da. And it was just really mind-blowing that it would be like me finding out somebody was in the Klan and me being like, well, they didn't necessarily do Klan activities, so I mean it's fine.
Right. What?
What sense does that make? They're associated with it.
Right. And to say that you're not an Nazi sympathizer and you understand why people would be upset at the pen, but you don't understand why the pen is getting pulled, then you don't understand why people are upset at the pen if you don't understand why it's getting pulled. And then you won't even give the blessing for the name to be changed, which honestly, I don't even think they needed the girl's blessing to do that. I don't think the girl has any type of ownership or
it's just being
financial
nice, yeah.
stake in the pen. Yeah, I think it's just being nice. But yeah, that was mad disturbing to me. I don't know. Way to double down on being on the wrong side of history.
It was the you can't find any European in the 20th century that didn't do anything wrong. So why are we honoring them?
Period. Then
why do they need to be empowered in Women's Empowerment Month?
Right, because I mean, basically, it was like every European in the 20th century is a Nazi sympathizer, which is fundamentally not true because that's
it's not
why
true
there was a World War II. Because a lot of people didn't agree with that shit. Coco Chanel just was not one of them.
but she don't need to
So
be empowered for it. Yes, we can all acknowledge that she made some ways in the fashion industry.
I mean, the
That could be
Chanel
true.
brand is still out here
Yeah,
thriving. The
it's
Chanel
still here.
brand still has mention of her on the website. So not getting to have her name on the VB pen is not taking anything away from this woman's legacy that you're trying so hard to uphold.
She don't know nothing about this goddamn pen, nothing about this goddamn planner community, nothing about that goddamn shop.
Nothing.
She don't care.
She don't care.
She ain't getting no money off of it. You ain't
Mm-mm.
getting no money off of it.
Nope. Nope.
And to
Everybody's
be like,
broke.
oh, this is cancel culture, it's given very Fox News.
It is because they love to call everything cancel culture. And here's the
Mhm.
thing. You are the one who got the pen canceled because they wanted to just change the name. We even suggested changing. Tons of people suggested changing the name, taking the name off, doing that. So you're the
And
one,
sell the
and your
pen.
actions
Yeah.
are the person who got the pen canceled because you refused to change the name. So who's canceling what?
Oh my
I
God.
can't.
It's wild to me.
So
It's
wild.
it's wild that so many people are just like, oh, that's just a long time ago. It's given very like slavery was hundreds of years ago to me. You know what I mean?
It
Like
is.
it's given that, and I don't like it. I don't like it, and I appreciate what VB did to just take the daggone pen down. It ain't worth it. Clearly, that's not what VB stands for.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She didn't know. She made a mistake. She
She did the right
rectified it.
thing. Right.
She
A
did the
little
right
late,
thing.
but better late than never.
Better late than never.
If y'all, the
Unfor-
people who really wanted their Nazi pens, gonna get it because it
That's the
was for
thing
sale at
too.
one point.
It was for sale for days, and
Yeah,
people are like, "I really love this pen. I don't even care." Like, if you really love the pen, you would have bought it on Thursday when it dropped.
exactly.
And VB is known for these pens selling out. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really want a VB pen, you get it when it drops.
If you want a Nazi pen, just say that.
Just say that. It's about the
Because you didn't
controversy.
care.
You didn't care
Exactly.
about this pen before until it was controversy on it. So now you want the Nazi pen. And watch the mug sell for like $200-$300
Oh,
for the
oh,
people who did get
Mercari.
it. Yeah.
Gross.
It's so
Gross.
gross. Do y'all even hear yourself? Thank goodness this is going on an unofficial Facebook group that's not related to VB. Because my goodness, this is wild.
It is.
It is
really
wild how they're going so hard for a pen that none of them make no money off of.
Nobody makes any money off of it. And the person
And
who
it's a
is
Nazi pen.
making money off of it is like, I can't. I guess I'm just gonna pull the pen then since you don't
It's
want
the
to change the
L.
name.
Yeah.
Which is the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
That is
Yeah.
just the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Karens for me. The people come out the woodworks just like when we had that, well, not we, but that issue with the theft of the black stuff. People just coming out the woodworks, just caping. Don't know the people, don't care, just caping for controversy, caping for whiteness.
Yeah, literally just caping for controversy, caping for whiteness, caping for whiteness is right to do whatever whiteness wants to do and forget anybody's feelings. And that's why we say that the planner community is not an escape for people of color, for black people. It's just not. It is, I mean, because so many things that go on in real life, such as racism, such as lack of diversity, such as these type of issues go on within the planner community, and we still have to deal with it. We're not escaping shit. You think I want to be talking about Nazis on the Tuesday?
No, we
I want to talk about pens. I want to talk about pens. I want to talk about washi tape.
It's wild. We're caping over an ink pen that's related to Nazi.
And the pens that are beautiful, but they are a dime a dozen. I mean, my gosh, she comes out with so many pens all throughout the year. This is nothing special. It's literally just a black and white pen. It's nothing special. It
really
about
is. It really is.
It's
and
no
honestly,
better than
y'all
could have
had that pen.
Y'all could
just change the name, but y'all ain't want to. Y'all ain't want to do that.
You could have had it, or you could, if you already bought it, you could still have it. You could put it in your Nazi memorabilia closet because I feel like you probably got one of those.
Oh my god!
History. Girl, the girls.
Oh my god!
It's just history, Myra.
I know, but those people have that.
That's what I'm
People
saying.
have that, and they wanted that
They
pen to
do.
put in there.
They did because it's just history to them.
That's the disconnect we be talking about. It's history, it's textbook to y'all, but it's
Yep.
life for us.
Is life, literal life.
That
Yeah.
is just so why would you want anything associated with that? I thought we all university is like F Nazis. I
I
thought that was just a
mean,
universal thing.
the Nazis were so trash that even Americans in the 30s and 40s were able to recognize that the Nazis were trash. And those were not the best people in the world because they were that was still we were still knee deep in lynchings and
Mm-hmm.
separate but equal, trying to stop black people from voting, like all that stuff. And even they were like, that's too far.
That is too far.
So
Here we are caping for the pen forum. It's wild. Like I think it's legal to even have that flag in Germany.
yeah,
Even Germany don't even mess with them.
because Germany recognizes that there was an atrocious part of their history and they're not proud of it. Like
No.
half of our country is still proud of that disgusting part of history that we had. So, ooh, child, yeah. I
Whew,
mean, is
yeah.
this the hill you want to die on, girl?
That's the thing. Like, is this the hill you want to die on?
A
The
Nazi
Nazi
pen,
hill.
a Nazi hill with a Nazi pen. Ooh, we.
Are I feel like they are saluting as they type this stuff.
Are
It's
they
wild
typing?
to me.
Are we gonna get some? No, they don't listen to this podcast. I'm
Oh,
if they
absolutely
hope
not.
if they hate woke cancel
Absolutely not.
culture, they definitely do not listen to this podcast. So we ain't
No.
got to worry about
Mm-mm.
that, and they ain't got to worry about us either. But wow,
Whew, that'll do it.
is that the name of this episode?
That'll
That'll
do
do it.
it.
Go on, put it in the show notes. I love it. I love
Oh
it.
my God.
That'll do it. Oh yeah. So last thing we want to talk about, kind of wrap up the show, is friendship breakups. And I feel like friendship breakups do not get enough attention, because all the focus is on romantic breakups, where arguably friendship breakups are worse. They can be a lot more traumatizing,
Definitely.
they can be a lot more painful, because there's just so much that goes into a friendship. So yeah, what do you think about friendship breakups, Myra?
Whew. Have you had one before? No, you have.
Girl,
You have the story.
I had a ton of friendship breakups. Too many to count, but luckily I haven't had a friendship breakup probably in the past decade.
Yeah,
But
same.
my
Yeah.
early 20s was just and late teens was just rife. It was left and right. It was crazy.
Yeah. The breakups was definitely early 20s for me, but it's just, I definitely agree. It's so much harder than a relationship because one, I feel like you are, not to say like much closer, but you have more
Mm-hmm.
of an intimate connection than, I don't know. I feel like that's the wrong thing to say. But I feel like with my friends,
Your
I've
friends
talked about
become
my
like
partners.
siblings. Yes,
Yeah, it's
like
like
your friends become
family.
like your
Yeah.
family. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it even harder. And then, like you said, it just doesn't get the recognition. It's just like, oh, well, you lost a friend, but like, actually, I lied. The my most recent one has been within the past 5 years, technically,
Mm.
and I mean, like, made an honor at my wedding and everything.
Wow.
So like that really, really, really bothered me, and I was low key like kind of down for like a month after that.
Yeah.
But it was a situation where it was like it was bubbling up.
Yeah.
We had situations in the planner community where we're like, yeah, this is about to bubble over. It was like
Mm-hmm.
one of those
Mm-hmm.
situations. But it's like I never really talked to anybody about the breakup. Usually, like
Mm-hmm.
with your romantic partners, you talk to people if it's
Right.
like you go to therapy or you talk to your other friends about it, whatever. But like with this, it's nobody to really talk to about it
Yeah.
or kind of
Yeah.
break down like why that happened, or was it the right move? Was it something
Mm-hmm.
that you could have done better? Is it worth reaching back out to these people?
Yeah.
Like there's no conversation around that.
Right. That's true. That's true. And I feel like, people obviously go to therapy after like romantic breakups. I feel
Mhm.
like sometimes people should seek therapy after friendship breakups. Like I can literally, there are friendship breakups that I've had that I regret, There's not a romantic relationship breakup in my life that I regret.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying?
Yeah, they was trash.
It was trash, and I just needed to.
I just
But
needed to
my friends,
go.
but not all my friends were. I did have some trash friends, but the majority of people, like, it'll maybe a situation that got blown out of proportion, or a
Mm-hmm.
situation where you grew apart, where nobody was a bad person or nobody did anything wrong. Something just kind of fell out of alignment or whatever. And I feel like that's kind of what the great one of the great things is about growing up and getting older, is you try harder not to let those situations bubble over. Like if you have an
Mm-hmm.
issue with a good friend, at our big grown ages in our 30s, we have to address it. We have to address it. We have to let it, like, talk about it head on, like, even with each other, because even though we have a business relationship, we have a friendship also. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So, and it's
right,
like the last thing we want is to let things bubble over and not address it, because then
right.
once we finally address it, it might be at the point of no return where there's no fixing it by
Mm-hmm.
then. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? And I
it's
feel
World
like,
War II.
yep, exactly, exactly. And I feel like that's where you kind of have to. I feel like that's where maturity and just going through life experiences really, really come into play. Because when you get older, you just value your friends way more. Like, I can honestly say I value my friends and my friendships more than I did in my early 20s. I do. I don't know why I put so much stock and so much effort into romantic relationships that did not last, over my friendships that are people I could still be friends with today had I not been so stubborn and stupid about them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. I also feel like as we get older, we kind of tap into things that probably would have made them not good friends.
Mm-hmm.
We don't look the other way, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking this last friend breakup that I had, there was signs of jealousy, there was signs of like controversy or not getting along, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh, that's just the way they act, or
Yeah.
oh, maybe they're just having a bad day. And I feel like as we're older, and speaking of some of the friendships that we dissolve, I will say,
Mm-hmm.
within this community, we're like, did you peep that? I peeped that too. We're
Yep.
saying something about it
Yep. Yeah.
right then
Literally.
and there.
Yeah, for sure. Because we don't want to let it bubble over, because it doesn't have to. Like, it doesn't always have to be such a huge thing. I mean, I guess it has the potential to turn into that, but I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
earlier you address things, usually the easier it is to solve it and get past it. And one of the things that I love about this planner community is that you have so many, or you're capable of having so many different friends. Like, it's kind of like how you have like your work friends, like your coworkers, where you can have people of all different, ages and stuff like that, who you would never have probably connected with under normal
Mm-hmm.
circumstances, but because y'all work together, y'all have been able to connect. Planner community is kind of similar too, because we have friends who are like 10, 20 years older than us, and we have friends who are like 10 years younger than us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's kind of cool. So that's one thing I love about the planner community and the friendships. And that's why, like, everybody's kind of coming to these friendships with different perspectives and different life experiences. And I feel like sometimes you can kind of recognize, like, when you may have a lot more experience dealing with friendships and the potential for friendship breakups than other people who are around you, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I think that's probably why we came across like a little bit more of friendship breakups within this community,
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody walks the same life. Like
Mm-hmm.
I say it all the time, like, oh, they just need to live a little bit more.
Mhm.
And I feel
Mhm.
like I run across people more so in the planner community that needs to just live a little bit more, to
Right.
understand, like, no, you're not being attacked. We're trying to have a conversation.
Right.
No, you can't be like acting jealous or being jealous towards people, like that can ruin friendships. And I think that
Mhm.
comes with living.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And there's just a lot of potential for jealousy in the planner community, especially
Mm-hmm.
if you are like a content creator or you have some type of business in the community. Maybe your friend does too. And if you get into a situation where your friend sees you as competition, or sees like, oh, this person is doing well, so they're taking away from my success, which is 9 times out of 10 never really the case, but it can kind of become the
Yeah.
case in people's heads. Like
Hmm.
those situations are extremely difficult to deal with. So that's why it's like imperative to have friends who are like-minded and really on the same page as you when it comes to you guys' goals, and all you guys
Yeah.
have different things going on. It's like with our friend group now, like we all are kind of doing similar things, but we all kind of have our different spin on it too. So
Hmm.
and our different thing that we're bringing to the table, so nobody is seeing anybody as competition, because we're not. Like we're all gonna have different opportunities, and sometimes we may have the same opportunities, but we can still take our personal feelings out of it and just be happy for each other, because at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
your success is my success, whether I financially benefit from it or not. I want to see you win just like you want to see me win, just like we want to see our other friends win.
Absolutely. And I think it's super cool. I think it's super unique too that maybe not everybody listening has this kind of experience, but our friend group also have business relationships with one another too.
Right, right.
So I think that's super cool that we can have a business relationship and have a friendship and that not get muddy,
Mm-hmm.
and it,
Mm-hmm.
it takes, you got to find, not, I guess you have to find like-minded people
Mm-hmm.
who are like, yeah, I have a business too, but I love you as a friend as well.
Right.
Um, and that I don't know. Would you say that comes easy? I just feel like we
Mm-hmm.
kind of gravitated. It's not like we was looking out
Yeah.
for each other or Danny and Laura.
It's a
Like it just,
gravitation.
yeah,
I feel like my most successful friendships that I've had, especially in this community, are situations where we didn't try. It just kind of happened. Like our
yeah,
friendship
that's true.
just developed. Neither one of us was like, oh, I love Myra so much. She's amazing. Let me force her to be my bestie or my planner wife. You know what I'm saying? Like it just kind of happened. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
same thing with our other friends. Like we liked them, we admired them, they admired us. We started working together in different ways, and then the friendships just kind of blossomed. So I definitely think the best things are able to happen in this community as far as friendships go when you're not looking for them and where you're not trying super hard. Because if you try super hard and the other person is on the same page, it's gonna come off weird. It's like trying really hard in a relationship and the other person is not trying. It's literally the
yeah,
same thing. It feels
yeah.
thirsty. The person feels kind of, chased. And it's like, okay, why are you
Hmm.
chasing me? What are you trying to gain from me? Like, because nobody's gonna believe you don't want to just be my friend because I'm cool. Like, what is your motive? Like, why are you trying so hard? And they
Yeah.
could just want to be your friend because you're cool, but it doesn't come off that way because they're trying too hard, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, that's true. And that's especially people can get especially weary if they do have a platform or you have a platform. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of muggles it a little bit as well. But yeah, I just feel like it just has to be organic. Like I really wish that we would treat our friendships as we do our relationship. Just because
Mm.
there's nothing sexual there doesn't
Yeah.
mean it isn't as serious.
Right, exactly. Because there can be just as many feelings and emotions wrapped
Mhm.
up without the sexual part of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have to do this, especially when you grow up and you learn a little bit more about life. You have
Mhm.
to treat your friends like you treat your relationships, like with your husband or your spouse or your partner or whatever. If you're not just gonna throw that person away at the first sign of trouble or at the first argument.
Right.
If that was the case, neither one of us would still be married
Girl,
because it's been plenty
it's been today.
today.
Today. It's been plenty. But you
Every
don't
day
do
is work.
that. It's
Mm-hmm.
a commitment. It's a
Yep, it's
commitment.
a
Yeah, it's not
commitment.
like a marriage kind of thing or a boyfriend girlfriend kind of thing, but it's still a commitment to your friends cuz like we
Mm-hmm.
said, we want to see each other win, and I think you did say like your win is my win and
Yep,
vice versa.
yep.
So I wish we just took it a little bit more serious. And I don't know. I'm sure people go to therapy out there. It's just not, mainstream
It's
to go to therapy because you lost a friend.
it should be. We need
Yeah.
to start talking more about that and
Yeah.
talking more openly about that. And hell, like even like how they have couples counseling. Can we get some friendship counseling? Like if me and my bestie going through it, like can we get a third party in the room? You know what I'm saying? Like I
I
feel like
mean,
like
mediator or something.
something, because like you said, I think it's important to make that commitment to your friends that you're making to a romantic partner, because I wouldn't even be able to truly be myself and be comfortable in a friendship if I felt like as soon as I bring up something that I'm going through, or as soon as I'm having a bad day and I lash out, this person's just gonna cut me off and not be my friend no more. You don't want to feel like that. You have to have some type of security in a friendship, just like in a relationship, that you can have an off day or you can be a bitch one day and that person is going to forgive you and still be there for you. Obviously, you can't just abuse them and take
Right.
advantage of their
Yeah.
kindness, but you don't have to be perfect all the time in order for somebody to still want to be around you, you know?
Yeah. I mean, just like with any romantic relationship, and communication is very much key,
Mm-hmm.
and friendships too.
Yep, for sure.
I feel
100%.
like you definitely have to be able to talk and not
Mm-hmm.
feel like the other person is going to feel attacked,
Yeah,
or
for
you
sure.
know, that's how I figure. That's how I figure. Hold on, that might be a little bit too much.
Mm,
We'll say that off air.
okay.
But communication is key.
Yeah, yeah. Communication is key. Yep,
And that's how
yep.
you know if you can communicate with your friends that, they're your people.
Absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
truly communicate, not like, oh, you bought the new Happy Planner this week. True
Mhm,
communicate,
mhm.
real life communicate.
Yep.
I mean, you can do that too, because we got to talk about the planners and stuff too. But real
Period.
life communicate.
Yep,
That's
yep,
how you know.
exactly. And I think you know what we'll put a question box on our stories, and also send in your stories to askpnw@gmail.com. We would love to know, like, if you've gone through a friendship breakup, if you have a friend out there who you want to reconnect with because y'all had a tough time and y'all stopped talking, like, tell us your stories about your friendship breakups and how you're doing better to work on really retaining and treasuring those friendships a little bit more going forward, because that's definitely what we're trying to do. So yeah, write
For
in and
sure.
answer in the question box on our Instagram stories and let us know about those.
Oh,
um
can I spill the tea on my friendship breakup if we got time
yeah,
on the
for
bonus?
sure. Oh yeah. If y'all want to hear about Myra's friendship breakup, tune into the bonus
It doesn't
episode.
put me in the greatest light, but I
That's
was young
fair.
and lesson learned.
Same,
Yeah.
same. Yeah, we can definitely go more into detail about our own personal, not so great
Oh,
stories about
yeah. Our
friendship breakups.
our stories, boy. I
Why
mean,
we
if you
got so
ain't on the
many?
Patreon, I
We
don't
not
know what
even,
to tell you.
for real.
Yeah,
You missing out because you would
you
have a lot
missing
of more
out.
tea on us. Tea that obviously we are comfortable with sharing, but
Yeah, I
tea
clearly we're
nonetheless.
good with it now.
Right. But yeah, guys, this was a great episode. We love talking to y'all as always. It's kind of nice to get back to the normal flow of things because we hadn't had an episode where it was literally just us since before we went to go wild. So it's really cool to get back to that. Make sure y'all are subscribed to Reality and Wine. That is a show we are making with our friends Laura and Danny, covering RuPaul's Race and also The Bachelor franchise. And we just did a super fun mashup episode where all four of us were on a live and we talked about the newest season of Love Is Blind. So make sure you check that out because that was tons of fun as well.
I can't believe it took us that long to do that because that was epic. I
I
mean, like our little
know.
four boxes on the screen was
It was
so
so
cool.
cute. Maybe can we figure out how to do it like once a quarter or every other month or something like that? We need some consistency with that because
Yeah.
that was so
Yeah, once a
fun.
quarter. I think that's perfect because that gives us enough time.
Mm-hmm.
Or in Danny case, it gives him time to watch it on 1.5 speed. I
That
love
is
his
such.
dedication.
I do too. I do too. And
But yeah,
then
that gives us time to watch and everything.
neither one of us have to be jealous anymore because you get to podcast with Laura and I get to podcast with Danny. So everything is right with the world
That's true.
because we
That is
love
true.
them.
That is true. But if you watch that, I'll put a link to it because
Mm-hmm.
it's still up, right?
Yeah.
It's still
Oh,
up.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'll put it in the show notes. But if you watch it, you can totally see why Megan and Laura podcast together and Danny and I
You
podcast
can. The
together.
vibes are so similar. The
Yeah.
vibes are so like Danny and Myra are like such almost the same person, and me and
Mhm.
Laura have so much in common. It's crazy. Like, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
It just works.
It's so
It just
cool.
works.
It
The
just
vibes are
works.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. But that lets
I
us
love
know
it.
too, if Laura and Danny, ever wanted to do anything together, it would totally work. If you and Laura ever
Mhm.
did anything, if me and Danny ever did anything, like the vibes is all there. So we could make some podcast history if we had the time, but we don't. So we're gonna stick to what we're
Well,
doing right now.
yes. Oh my god. I love
Yes.
that we ended this on a high note. I love having these really deep conversations with y'all, but
Mhm.
yeah, we'll have that question box up. Let us
Mhm.
know. We would love to hear y'all stories, and if it's too detailed, email us.
Yep. Email us.
Yeah.
We can keep it anonymous. We can save it for a bonus episode if you rather it
Mhm.
be over there. But yeah, just let us know. We love you guys so much, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Bye guys.